She hadn't agreed to the blind date because she believed in love anymore, she agreed because she was tired of the silence. After the accident that left Elena Hart, one of the youngest and most powerful CEOs in the city, paralyzed from the waist down, her world had shrunk from skyscraper boardrooms and flashing cameras to quiet hallways and carefully scheduled therapy sessions. The tabloids had once called her the Ice Queen of Industry, a woman who built a multi-million-dollar tech empire before 30. But they never wrote about the nights she lay awake staring at the ceiling, wondering how a single rainy evening and a reckless truck driver had taken not just her mobility, but her laughter. So when her assistant nervously suggested a blind date, just dinner, nothing serious, Elena almost laughed at the absurdity of it. Who would want to date a woman whose life now revolved around ramps and medical reports? Still, something inside her whispered that maybe she deserved one evening of normal. The restaurant was elegant, dimly lit, filled with the soft hum of conversations and clinking glasses. Elena arrived first, her sleek black wheelchair gliding smoothly across the marble floor, her tailored white suit immaculate as always. She had built armor out of confidence, no one could see the fragile pieces beneath. Then the door opened, and in walked a man who clearly did not belong in this polished world. He wore a simple button-down shirt with sleeves rolled up, revealing strong forearms marked with faint grease stains that no amount of scrubbing could fully erase. His boots were clean but worn. He paused awkwardly, scanning the room until his eyes met hers. For a second, Elena felt heat rise in her cheeks, not from embarrassment, but from the raw honesty in his gaze. He approached the table cautiously. "Elena," he asked, his voice deep but uncertain. "I'm Daniel. A mechanic." That's what her assistant had told her in a hesitant whisper, as if it were a flaw to apologize for. Elena had built companies, he fixed engines. On paper, it was laughable. She braced herself for pity, for forced compliments, for that subtle flicker of discomfort she had grown used to seeing in men's eyes when they noticed the wheelchair. But Daniel didn't look at the chair. He looked at her. Not past her. Not around her. At her. Dinner started stiffly. He admitted he had almost cancelled because he felt out of place. She admitted she had almost cancelled because she felt broken. There was an awkward silence, until a waiter accidentally knocked over a glass of water, splashing Daniel's sleeve. Instead of reacting with irritation, Daniel burst into laughter, a genuine, unfiltered laugh that turned heads. "Well," he grinned, "at least it's not engine oil this time." Something inside Elena cracked, not painfully, but gently. Before she realized it, she was laughing too. Not the polite chuckle she used in meetings. A real laugh. The kind she hadn't heard from herself in over a year. The disaster she had feared, a mismatched, humiliating evening, slowly transformed into something unexpected. Daniel told her about rebuilding a '67 Mustang from scrap, about how he loved taking what the world considered ruined and making it run again. "People give up on things too easily," he said softly, meeting her eyes. "Just because something's damaged doesn't mean it's done." The words lingered between them, heavy and electric. Elena felt her throat tighten. He wasn't preaching. He wasn't offering sympathy. He was stating a fact he lived by. For the first time since the accident, she didn't feel like a tragedy. She felt like a woman sitting across from a man who saw her strength instead of her limitations. Hours passed unnoticed. They talked about failure, fear, and the strange loneliness of success. Daniel confessed he never finished college because he had to support his mother. Elena admitted that despite her wealth, she sometimes felt utterly powerless. When the restaurant began closing, Daniel stood and hesitated. "I know this wasn't exactly the glamorous date you're used to," he said, rubbing the back of his neck, "but I'd really like to see you again. Not because I feel sorry for you. And not because you're a CEO. Just because you're you." There it was. Simple. Honest. No grand speech. Elena felt something she hadn't felt in months, hope. Not the loud, blinding kind. A quiet spark. As he helped guide her wheelchair toward the exit, not pushing without permission, but walking beside her, she realized the real disaster would have been staying home, hiding from the world. That night didn't magically heal her body. It didn't erase the trauma. But it reminded her that her story wasn't over. Sometimes, the person who helps you smile again isn't the one the world expects. Sometimes it's the mechanic who knows how to rebuild what others think is beyond repair. And if this story touched your heart even a little, if you believe that second chances and unexpected love still exist, then make sure you subscribe to this channel, because here, we tell the stories that remind you no matter how broken life feels, your next chapter could be the one that changes everything.